Get on your slippers and let's get cozy. It's time for training. Hi! Welcome to spring 2018, my very special people. This is probably going to be the dorkiest thing I've ever done. So, congrats, you get to watch it. You get to watch it. So really all I'm going to do is review what was on our PowerPoint. I'm going to try and do it quickly, tell you what you need to look for, send you an email so that you also know what else to look for. I want to look over here, but the camera's over here. Do I look over here? Do I look over here? Where do I look? I'll look at the camera. Wink at you every now and then. Double click. Welcome to spring 2018. This is so weird. Hey, nice to meet you. This is where we would have done introductions, so when you see somebody, introduce yourself, say hi, how you doing? What are we going to talk about today? We're going to talk about class capacities, employee benefits, clocking in. Forever, it's always a new thing with clocking in. Matsana, passes, point system, Facebook. Yeah, you're going to see my Facebook. Requesting time off, wage increase, peer evaluations, semester dates and information, which I already emailed you, but we'll just review them for safety's sake. We'll finish up talking about studios, Studio 2 Sound, Cycle Studio Sound, website, which has a Google Calendar on it and a listserv on it, fitness bouncers, some fun stuff that I bought to keep the flu from killing our program. And then I will send you some Google Docs. The Google Docs will include studio cleaning, your contract that you'll need to fill out, and I believe that's all. And also if you need a bouncer for your class. So we'll get into the training, get this misery over with. I think I'd like a little background music, and I choose Reliving the 80s on Spotify. And let's start off with some Thriller by Michael Jackson. On it. Okay. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can, and that's really all that matters. So let's start off with class capacities. So each studio has a max capacity, and that's a fire code. Okay, I'm turning it back off. Has a max capacity that it can be. These are fire code capacities. These are not capacities set by what I really think we can cram in a studio, right? 200 people in Zumba? Do it. Not okay. Studio 1 has a max capacity of 68 participants. Studio 2 is 25, and Studio 4 is 48. Cycle Studio has 20 open bikes and then one for the instructor. Studio 2, 25 is a lot. So if you feel like your class needs to max out at 15 because of what you're doing, then do it. You can cut off capacities for what is safest for your class. Studio 1, 68's pretty good for Zumba. It might get a little crowded for kickboxing. It'll be crowded. 60, it'll be crowded when you're moving around and going side to side. So keep that in mind. If you have any questions about that, let me know. Also, in the studio closets are the participant count sheets. So after each class, go into the little clipboard and open that up and find your class and write down how many people are in there. I use that for my semester reports at the end of each semester. So please make sure you're recording participant numbers. So we also have this thing called fitness bouncers, and maybe you need a fitness bouncer, maybe you don't. Usually I just set it up and I guess at what I think it's going to be, but this semester I prefer you let me know. So what is a fitness bouncer? A fitness bouncer is a recreational assistant that works in this fitness area down there at the far west end of the building. They wear the green shirts, and they will come to your class and they will count the number of people with our little clicker that we have. You'll give them the clicker, they will count the number of people that come to class. And then whenever the class is full, they'll remain outside and they'll say, "Sorry folks, park's closed. Sorry folks, class is full. Park's closed." That's a Chevy Chase movie. Let me know if you know what I'm talking about. So also, with fitness bouncers, if your class, and you see it happening every week, is getting full and it's at capacity and you're having a hard time controlling it because you're trying to get class ready, right? That's hard to control numbers coming in and out of the door. When you're up front, you're trying to get class ready, you're trying to get in your mental zone. So if you're having problems, I'm going to set up a Google Doc, go in there, sign up and say, I need a fitness bouncer, please. And I will set people up to come to your class and fitness bounce. I usually make them rip the shoulders, the sleeves off their shirts too, so they look super strong. Questions about any of these things, please email me. So you do have some employee benefits. Ooh, ooh. Everyone gets a fitness pass. Ta-da! See it? See it? An instructor fitness pass. You have to stop by my office and get it. It's for mind, body, and cycle classes. I feel the best way to learn about our program is to be as involved in it as you can, and that means going to classes. So stop by my office and pick up a instructor fitness pass. Student Development Fund is available for students and for non-students. It's just called the Student Development Fund, but it is available for non-students. What is it? It's a form you fill out that if you want to get some CECs or you see a certification that you would like to have, we help you pay for that. You have to get the application turned in a month before registration is due. Do not pay registrations if you're thinking you're going to get some funds, because we don't reimburse you. When you get the funds, let's say I'm going to go to Idea Fitness Convention in July. I'm going to turn in my application to Diane. Diane has to write a letter of recommendation. Diane turns everything into the committee and they decide how much money they're going to give you. However, if you've decided I want to make sure I lock my place here, I'm going to register right now. You're not going to get that money back. So I wait for them to tell me, yes, it's available. Go ahead and give them $200 towards Idea Fitness. I'll put that money on my P card. You'll never have to pay for any of it out of your own pocket, except for what they don't cover. Typically, they cover the registration fee. The rest of it is up to you. So if you have questions about that, if you're like, does this qualify? I want to try this. Does this qualify? I'll let you know yes or no if it qualifies. But I need the application turned into the management team 1 month before registration is due. So look in advance. What do you want to do? Do you want to get a Zumba cert? Do you want to get a body bar cert? Whatever it is, we can probably help you out with it. Okay? Moving on. So let's talk a little bit about clocking in. So a new system started called Time Clock Plus, and that started last semester. I think that we're doing pretty good with it now. Everybody should have a meeting rate, and they should have 1 or 2 instructor rates. You should have, if you're an cycle instructor and a group fitness instructor, you'll have 3 rates. So you have cycle instructor rate, group fitness instructor rate, and meeting rate. Clock in for meetings and you get paid the meeting rate. Clock in for instructor and you get paid the instructor rate. Please try and be sure. We've asked them to label it a little bit more clear. Usually it'll just say Bornhoft 1 or Bornhoft 2. Go in there and see what that pay rate is. When you click on Bornhoft 1, it may say the meeting rate of $11.50, or it may say the instructor rate of $13.55, or if you're a mind body instructor, $20. So you need to make sure you're clocking in correctly. And then it should say whether it's an indoor cycle instructor or a group fitness instructor. If you have questions about that, I'm happy to hang out with you or have a manager work with you to make sure that you understand it. I know that it can be a little bit confusing, but you're just going to slide your card. You're going to choose clock in. You're going to choose who you are and what rate you want. When you're finished with class, you go back in, slide your card, and clock out. I'm already tired, and we're only 8 minutes in. And then, if you mess up and you're like, oh, shucks, I forgot to clock out, just send an email, or the next time you're in, clock out, and then clock back in for the shift that you're here for. Write it on the fitness edit sheet. Make sure you're using the fitness edit sheet and not the lifeguard edit sheet. But if you're at home and you remember that you didn't clock out, send me and Pam an email. Real quick about some changes that have happened. Pam is still group fitness manager. Shay has decided to, just a minute, oh my God. Shay decided to take the semester off. She's graduating. More tears. I have so many tears. So Shay chose to focus on her studies and on school. What? So selfish. But she will always be there to answer your questions. However, Clarissa has come in. I've asked her to be the manager, and so now I have Clarissa and Pam are the managers. And Shay, of course, is always there to answer questions, but she just needed this semester to focus on graduation. Like you want to leave me anyways, right? Am I right? Okay, so anyways, those are some changes that came up with managers. I'm very happy to have Clarissa and Pam. They're very qualified. And it's great to have Shay around as an extra ear and eyes on things that are happening. Studio 4, in case you're wondering what that thing is in the corner, that's called the Mat Sauna. It's for anybody who uses Studio 4. It's to clean your mats. It has antimicrobial lights in there, and you feed the mat in. You turn it on first, flashing light, put the mat in, the rollers roll it through, and you roll the mat up at the bottom as it comes out. It doesn't get it wet. It just cleans it. So there, you're welcome to use it. I encourage you to please encourage your class to use the Mat Sauna, keeping the flu away. It's like the worst flu season in my entire life, and I'm 27 years old. 30? 35. We'll talk about it later. Any hoodles. For those that do not want to use the Mat Sauna, or your class is just too full and you can't get everybody into the Mat Sauna, then go ahead and use the spray and the towels. There's some fat mats in the instructor closet. Please do not put those ones in the Mat Sauna. It's just for the thinner mats, not the big thick mats, okay? That'll really clog things up. So mats are now kept in the instructor closet, as you know, but the reasoning behind that is we used to have the mats out for anybody to use. But then they got stolen. Somebody stole like 40 mats. What? So rude. So now they're kept in a locked place. You can, we do have mats for checkout at the service desk. So at the equipment desk in the back in the far west. So if you have somebody who's complaining about, oh, used to be able to use a mat in there, hey, they can go check it out and it's free. They're still available for checkout. Okay? Okay. So today, Thursday, is when I'm recording this. I think I'll get it posted today as well. Is the last day for free classes. So tomorrow, start checking for passes in all mind, body, and all cycle classes. I want you to set a precedent. I want you to say you may not be in this class without a pass. I'm sorry. They're $4 for a one-time pass. You can send them to the service desk, but they cannot be in your class unless they have a pass. Check all passes. Get that precedent set right now. Because I know in the past it's happened where an instructor's like, oh, it's probably okay, you can just come for today. And then it just keeps happening and happening and happening. So no, they cannot just come for today. They can go to the service desk and they can pick up a one-day pass for $4. So on Friday, January 25th, you should be checking for passes in both cycle and mind-body classes. Check for them as they come in. As you get this established, you can tell them, hey, once you come in, just take your pass and stick it under your mat if you're in a yoga studio, or put it in the front of your bike if you're in the cycle studio. You can set your own precedent and create that habit for them so it's just obvious. But tell them every single class they come to, they must bring their pass. I don't care if they come every Tuesday to your class and you know who they are. Not everybody in the studio knows who they are. So if I'm a first-time person and I just bought a cycle pass and I'm showing it to you, and then in walk 3 people that you're like, oh, hey, how you doing, how you doing, how you doing? Why did I get a pass if you're not going to check passes? Check everybody's pass so that everybody in the room knows that they are all on the same page. Even if you have people that you know are there, please show me your pass. Just make them do it, make it a habit, and then you don't have to worry about it. Set the precedent early and enforce it. So we have an employee point system. At the beginning of each semester, every employee is given 10 points, and that is if you work for me or if you work for as a lifeguard, you have 10 points total. You don't have 20 as a lifeguard, or 10 as a lifeguard and 20 as a fitness instructor. You have 10 points total. So you need to pay attention to your points if you're one of those sketchy employees. You know what I mean, right? So what happens? What do we do with those points? Like, for instance, everybody right now has a 9-point violation because you missed all staff development on Sunday. Real nice. Wouldn't that be the meanest thing we've ever done, is if we gave you 9 points for us canceling a training? So if you ever miss all staff development right at the beginning of the semester and it's unexcused, 9 points straight out the gate. That means you only have 1 point for the rest of the semester. What types of things can you lose points for? You can lose points for 1 point if your when to work schedule does not match your time clock clock-ins. We understand there's mistakes, but if we're trying to guess that, when Pam or Clarissa sit down to do payroll, they pull up a screen that has the when to work schedule on it, and the other screen has payroll on it. They're checking all your clock-ins with everything that's on when to work. If they don't match, then they have to take time to figure out, were you really here? Was it a fake clock-in? Did you sub somebody's class? So just make sure that's taken care of, that your when to work matches your clock-in and clock-out on your time clock. If something happens on when to work, because sometimes when to work just is a jerk. It rhymes with jerk, work, all same thing. And it won't do what you want it to do, just send me an email and I'm happy to make that adjustment for you. We're going to go over how to request time off and when to work in a little bit as well. So you can lose a point for not clocking in and your clock in not matching your when to work. 5 points for unexcused absences for a fitness meeting. If you don't show up, it's 5 points. If you say that you're at a you want the time off, and I will tell you in advance, yes, you can have that time off with 0 points, or no, you can have the time off, but you're going to receive 5 points for that, a 5-point violation. That's up to you. Communicate with me, and I will communicate with you to let you know exactly what you can be looking for. We have some fun Facebook pages. CSU Fitness Professionals. That is only for group fitness personal trainer employees. When I first put that on there, I really wanted to put different ideas and trainings on there for you, and then my life got really busy and I wasn't able to do that. But I'm getting more focused on that again, and I'm going to have Pam and Clarissa working on it. They don't know that yet, so we'll tell them in just a second. Pam and Clarissa, you have some jobs. Any hoodles. So there's my page. Be my friend. I could use another friend. My friend meter is not full yet, and I like friends. And there's also the Colorado State University Campus Rec Facebook page. So CSU Fitness Professionals, Diane Bornoft, Sparkles, and Colorado State University Campus Recreation. Go ahead and check those pages out if you want to have a fun Facebook life. I know you don't Facebook, all right? I get it. You're Twittering, you're Snapchatting, you're doing all the things, snap facing, whatever it is, and that's fine. But if you want to be cool like me, join the Facebooks. So now I'm going to move the camera, so professional, over to when to work. And then we're going to discuss how to request time off on when to work. Here we go. Oh my God, this is so weird. Okay, please hold. Don't get dizzy. Don't get dizzy. Dun, dun, dun. Spinning, spinning, spinning. This is so professional. Okay, here it is. This is your when to work. This is the home page, okay? You can take a peek at your schedule. Look, canceled. Don't worry about those not matching. I like peeking around and looking at you. Oh. Don't worry about those not matching right now. Your clock in, clock out, because we all know they were canceled. That's not your responsibility. Your personal information. If your phone number changes, you can fix that. Your preferences, we don't worry about preferences, so don't worry about that. But let's say I want to find staff that can sub for me and I need their phone numbers. So I go to the staff page. Well, look, these are locked. Let me put this is on all positions currently. I'm going to put on group fitness instructor. D-Town, I'm D-Town. Her number is locked. Ashley's number is locked. Renzo's number is locked. It's okay to have locked phone numbers, but my preference is that everybody can see them. So if you would so kindly, if your number is locked, which, let's see, Renzo, Tess, Kate, Haley, Sylvia, Lucy, Bethany, and Sally, your numbers are locked, so nobody can find these on when to work. If you would kindly go to the info page, and as you see right here, this says all employees can see my phone number, or only managers can see my phone number. My preference is that you click all employees can see my phone number. Boom, hit save. Okay, changes saved. Now if we go back to staff, D-Town's phone number is right there. I'm D-Town. There's D-Town's phone number, okay? So now that we have that established, if you would like to do that, please do. If you do not want other people to see your phone number, that is okay, just let me know. I want to request time off. I'm actually, for reals, I'm going to Vegas next week. Pam's covering my class. Thanks, Pam. So I want to request next week off. I'm going to go to the calendar over here and I'm going to find next week. What's next week? It's February. February 1st. I want my shift covered for that day. Comment. I'm going to type it in here. Pam is covering my class going to Vegas. I'm probably going to get really rich, so you're never going to see me again. Just so you know. Okay, so then keep in mind anything that you type in right here, everybody is going to see. So if you have something personal that you don't want everybody to see, don't type it in here. All right? Do not type in here if you don't want everybody to see it. You can send me an email and you can explain your reasoning for why you want time off. Or if you don't want to share it with me, you do not have to share it with me. You can just simply send me an email. I have some personal reasons for wanting my class covered. Okay? I don't care if y'all read this, so I'm going to put this request time off in there. Okay? This is on my student page just like you. As a manager, I go into my home page on manager status, time off request. Let me find it. Sorry, group fit. Oh, look. D-Town is requesting Thursday, February 1st off, and it says Pam is covering my class going to Vegas. Approve. That's me. I approve it. Or I say reject, and I give you a reason why I'm rejecting it. Or I say approve, and I'll put in here in the comments, I approve this, but if Pam doesn't cover it, it is your job to make sure it gets covered. Or if you don't get it covered, my expectation is that you will be here. Okay? So I'm going to approve it. I'm going to hit post. When I do that, it goes into our trades page. So anyways, February. It will go into the trade page. Okay, so that is all about when to work. It's really important that you ask for time off like this, requesting time off. Okay? Right in here. Okay? If you have questions, please let me know. I'm waiting for it to pop up on our trade shift schedule, but since I didn't have any shifts that day, it's not going to show up. Okay, so I think that's everything about when to work. Moving back. Hi, I missed you. Okay. If you have any questions about that, because that was kind of rough to watch, let me know. I'm happy to walk you through it. I don't mind. And now, you have a wage increase. Currently, mind-body people are not included in that because they got a very large bump at the beginning of the year. They hadn't had a pay raise in I don't know how long. I've been here 7 years, so in 7 years. So I got them a new pay raise approved, and theirs is at $20 an hour because of the nature of the certifications that they have to get. Everybody's meeting rate is going up to $11.50 an hour. I believe it was at $10.20 or something silly like that. So everyone's meeting rate, mind body instructor, indoor cycle instructor, and group fitness instructor is going to $11.50 an hour. And the instructor rate for group fitness and cycling instructors is at $13.55. That happened at the beginning of the semester, so if you look whenever you're clocking in and it doesn't show that you're making that wage, you need to let me know because yours might have slipped through the cracks. We will back pay you for the time that you were not at the $13.55 or $11.50 and make sure that you're updated and get you corrected. So let me know if you're not getting those, but you're welcome. Thanks, Obama or Trump. Okay, that wasn't nice. Don't tell anybody I did that. Okay, so peer evaluations are something that we implemented last semester, and I feel like they went really well. Here's a whole bunch of them. So here's a bunch of peer evaluations done. So you may have seen somebody in your class and they're filling out this evaluation. And you're like, well, I wonder what they said on it. Well, come on into my office and go through these evaluations and pick them up. I was going to scan them and email them to everybody. Ain't nobody got time for that. So if you'll please, step into my office. If I'm not in my office, these will be sitting on the corner of my desk, and you can just pop in, grab your evaluation, and take it with you. So I would like everybody, and I'm going to take those evaluations and I'm going to put blank ones in each of the studios. Evaluate a peer twice a semester. Let that peer know. Send them an email. Hi Pam, I will be in your TNT kickboxing class on Tuesday just to do an evaluation. You can either sit at the back and do the evaluation, or you can take the class and then fill the evaluation out afterwards. If you have time, stay and chat with the instructor. Hey, good job, I really liked your class, or I'm just going to give this to Diane. You get paid when you do a peer evaluation. You get paid, can't remember if it's in your instructor rate. You will get paid your meeting rate for that. Sorry about that. But do not clock in when you're going to do a peer evaluation. Do not clock in. I need to see the peer evaluation and that it was done. So if I'm not in my office, slide that little rascal under my door, and then I'll have Pam or Clarissa add that time to your time clock, okay? So fill out the evaluation, chat with the instructor, slide it under my door, and then we will add that time for you. We're also going to do manager evaluations. So Clarissa and Pam and myself will be in your classes doing a more in-depth evaluation, a little bit more in-depth than the peer evaluation. And Norel is also the mind-body manager. Sorry about that. That was so rude of me. Norel's our delightful, cheerful, and wonderful mind-body student manager. She's going to do evaluations as well on mind-body people. We will send you an email to let you know that it's scheduled, when we're going to do it, and please make sure that you're there. If you happen to know that you're going to be getting a sub for that class, then go ahead and get a sub for the class as it's approved on when to work, and let whoever's evaluating you know, I'm not going to be there, so please don't come. Can we schedule a different date? The peer evaluations and the manager evaluations, none of those are meant to be negative. All we're really doing, peer evaluations, they're a chance to go observe a class you've never done, to participate in that class, to understand it a little bit more. And if you have some happy things to tell the instructor those things. It's not meant for you to get negative and be like, well, she totally is squatting wrong. That downward dog was hideous. None of that. It's just simply meant to give feedback and build a little community as well. The manager one could possibly have some negativity to it, but not meant that way. Just we would rather use it as a way to evaluate you and let you know in areas of improvement. Okay? So you will find blank peer evaluations in all of the studio closets. Let the person know that you're going to be in their class evaluating them, and then when you're finished with it, slide the evaluation under my door. Please do not clock in for peer evaluations. 2 per semester. I think that covers peer evaluations. So I did send you the semester dates. The semester schedule has started for the fall. 3/19 is the last day of fitness classes before spring break. So if you are teaching on 3/19, at the end of 3/19, that is the last class until it resumes again. Spring break schedule runs 3/10 to 3/18, and then I said 3/19. 3/9 is the last day of fitness classes before spring break. 3/19, the regular fitness schedule resumes. 5/6 is the last day of the fall schedule. Then 5/7 and 5/11 is the finals week schedule. Summer break will start on 5/21. So through this semester, I'll be asking you if you would like to be on the spring break schedule. It's not a requirement. It's just an option. So the regular fitness schedule ends and the spring schedule starts. So I'll send you requests for that. I will also ask you to be on the finals week schedule if you can fit it in. And the finals week is 5/7 to 5/11. We have trainings on 2/17 and on 4/7. Those are actual fitness trainings where we're going to be active and moving. There's a teeny possibility we might get different dates for those, only because we're trying to work with some other studios in Fort Collins to go there, to break out of our regular routine and to see what it's like in other studios. I think that's important development. So if we do that, more than likely I'll use student development funds for that. On 5/4, we have the end of the semester wrap-up, and that is that. I have a little joke for you. Hey, Did you know that French fries weren't cooked in France? They were cooked in Greece. Ah, get it? Sorry. Yay, we're almost done. 29 minutes and 52 seconds of pure joy. Finishing up. Oh, the sound system. Let me tell you, everywhere I've worked, and I've worked in a lot of facilities, the sound system just seems to be a piece of crap. I don't know why in the millions of years of fitness, because I'm sure the cavemen were doing fitness, why we haven't got this better. And I can tell you that this is the best place I've ever been at for sound systems, and if you go somewhere else and they have a better one, I want to know. Tell me. We're the best. So Studio 2 seems to constantly be an annoyance to us. There's feedback, there's squeaking, there's scratching, the music isn't playing correctly. If you turn your mic up, the music starts screeching. If you turn your music up, the mic starts screeching. It's a pain. So it's been determined that the speakers are in the wrong place and they are the wrong size for the room. Eric has already got it approved through management team to switch out the speakers. That is not going to happen until spring break. So we will not schedule anybody in Studio 2 during spring break. We will be getting new speakers. Fingers crossed this helps it. Right now we're just really burning through mics quickly, and it's not your fault. Please understand I don't hold you accountable for that. Cycle Studio sound, you'll notice now that the music cabinet has holes in it. That's because inside of there it was getting up to over 100 degrees inside of there. So he's drilled the holes in it and he's put fans in there. That has brought the temperature down to the room temperature and hopefully taking care of problems. I do know that on occasion you go in there and nothing is working. I don't know what's happening. Please keep in mind that inside the big studio cabinet, don't touch anything. Get your microphone, turn it on, be done with it, plug it back in, we're done. Don't touch any of the buttons, okay? If you don't lock that up at the end of the night, participants open it up and think they can just push everything, so then the next day things are jacked up. So make sure you are locking that cabinet at the end of your shift if nobody is after you within 15 minutes. If that cabinet is open, that is a point violation. The Rec Soup lets me know, hey Diane, Cycle Studio, Studio 2, whatever studio was left open. I'm gonna look and see who the last person in there was, and you're gonna get a 3-point violation for leaving the studio unlocked. So what do I lock up? I don't know, I'm brand new. I don't know, I've been here 4 years and I still don't know what I'm doing. I know, I get it. Like, it gets overwhelming. So lock the music cabinet, lock the studio door closets, the ones where the equipment is. That's all you need to lock, okay? Plug the mic back in and charge it up, close the music studio, lock it up. Studio 1, above the stage, make sure that is locked. Okay, so Studio 1 has 3 things to lock. Above the stage, but the music cabinet that's on the floor, behind the Studio 1 door, and the studio doors that go into the equipment closet. The studio doors that go into the studio, those stay open at all times. Cycle Studio, lock the music cabinet and lock the equipment doors. Done. Same thing with Studio 2. Lock the music cabinet, lock the studio doors into the equipment closet. Done. Studio 4, you have the mat where the mats are kept to lock up. You also have the instructor room that needs locked up, and that is it. Okay. Things that do happen